I'm gonna be completely honest here. Sports games, yeah, I don't really get the point of them. Regardless of how I feel about them though, you can't deny that they've become a huge staple in the gaming industry. With each new year comes a new Madden or NBA game, and people love them. But what makes them so popular? I mean, they're just simulating something that you can do very easily if you were to just, take a step outside. This isn't true for all sports games though. I mean, the Mario sports games are pretty neat. Well, most of them anyways.
I hate this game.
You and me both, Waluigi. You see, what makes Mario sports games different than your typical sports games is, well, you can do shit like this. Yeah, you don't see much of that on a real tennis court. I just feel like these games are a lot more enjoyable to pull out in a party setting with how frantic the matches can get. I mean, just compare this to this. See what I mean? So, while a game like Mario Tennis can make for an amazing party game, what happens when you compress that same game to fit on a tiny little Game Boy screen? Well, you apparently turn it into an RPG. You see, it's a little more difficult to whip out a Game Boy version of Mario Tennis at a party. While you could have everyone bring their own Game Boy, link cable, and copy of the game, nobody's got time for that. We're all here just to have a good time, yo. So instead, Nintendo and Camelot decided to focus most of their efforts on single-player content for these portable entries. They did this by adding a full-blown RPG story mode to these games. It wasn't just one game either. No, they did this for Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on both the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. I don't know about you, but I've actually never tried any of these RPG-style Mario sports games. But I've definitely heard a lot about them. It seems like with every new Mario sports game that gets released, there's always at least one person saying how much they'd wish they'd just bring back these types of games. Are they really that good? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's check out one of these games. But which one though? Alright, sure. Why not?
Nintendo. Camelot.
Booting up the game for the first time, we're greeted by a pretty intense intro that, doesn't seem to have any Mario characters in it. Just whoever these guys are. This is Mario Tennis, right? Where is Mario oh, there he is. Alright. I was starting to get worried I put in the wrong game there for a second. That would have been embarrassing. Anyways, we're then taken to the character select screen, where we're given the choice of not Mario characters, but two original characters named Clay and Ace. They're both as generic as you can get for an RPG protagonist, so there really isn't much else to say about either of them, besides the fact that Ace is apparently a tomboy and Clay is a rascal? Alright. Well, I ended up going with Clay because, honestly, who cares? Also, I recommend not renaming your character in this game, unless you like making your ears bleed. Yeah, don't say I didn't warn ya. After all of that though, we're finally thrown into the game, where we're greeted by Ace, who's attempting to wake us up. I sure hope he's not dead? I mean, you and me both, otherwise this game's gonna be a lot more tragic than I thought it'd be. So we find out through Ace that we're apparently a new arrival at the Royal Tennis Academy. Here at the Royal Tennis Academy, students are split into 3 classes: Junior, Senior, and Varsity, with each of the classes having 4 ranks. Any student that makes it to the top of the varsity class has the chance to compete with students from all around the world in the island tour to see who truly is the best tennis player in the world. As you can probably guess, our goal in this game is to rise up in the ranks with the hopes of someday making it to the island tour. So yeah, nothing too groundbreaking in terms of story for this game. The interesting bit of all of this though is that after every match you'll be awarded with experience points which you can use to level up your character. You can choose to level up any of your character's attributes, from how fast they are to even how well they serve the ball. This all gives you a lot of customization options for molding your character to your specific playstyle. You can even go to a training area to level up your character even more. In the training area, you'll be playing a variety of minigames, from hitting targets on a wall to more unique games like jumping over barrels while on a moving conveyor belt. How does doing all this make you better at tennis? Hell if I know. What I do know though is that these training bits are actually a lot of fun and are honestly my favorite part of the game because, well, unlike the rest of the game, they provide some much needed variety to the gameplay. You'd think this game would have a lot to offer with there being a story mode with RPG mechanics included, but after a few hours, you'll start to realize how little there actually is here. You see, I feel like every RPG has to have two key components to keep a player engaged. These two things are an interesting world for you to explore, and a memorable cast of characters to go along with that world. And, well, this game, well, it doesn't really have either of those. The world they do give you to explore is just a generic campus setting that pretty much just acts as a bridge to get you to each new tennis match. Even the few points of interest they do include in the world aren't even that noteworthy. They had every opportunity here to create a fun and unique RPG set in the Mario universe, but instead took a pretty generic approach to a game like this. Even the original characters that Camelot did include in this game are completely cookie cutter and forgettable. Remember all those characters we saw in the intro we watched earlier? Yeah, they're all completely unlockable and playable. In fact, they're the only unlockable characters in this game. That's right, in this Mario Tennis game, you don't unlock Mario characters, but instead classics like Skipper. Ah yes, my favorite Mario character. Fucking Skipper. I don't know, this game is just weird. You constantly forget you're even playing a Mario Tennis game due to the lack of, Mario? I'm not even kidding when I say that 90% of this game is completely void of any type of Mario references. It's honestly kinda jarring whenever a reference does pop up. Like, just look at this roster. There's only 6 Mario characters available, then like 40 Camelot originals to choose from. Why? Why didn't they just call this Camelot Tennis or something? Was this another Star Fox Adventure situation? Did this start out as a completely original tennis game, but then Nintendo was all like, listen, we kinda need a Mario Tennis game on the Game Boy Advance, so we're just gonna... yeah, there we go. It isn't until after you finish the island tour that Mario finally decides to show up, and at that point you're just kinda like, oh yeah, I'm playing Mario Tennis, aren't I? The Mario content in this game just feels so tacked on that I can't help but wonder what was even the point of calling this Mario Tennis? Marketing? Did Nintendo just not want Mario to be the star of the game? Who knows? All I know is this game it's just weird. With all that said though, I didn't hate this game. Regardless of all the complaints I had, it's still a pretty solid tennis game. Most of the mechanics of the Gamecube game are pretty accurately emulated on this handheld version. While, yes, this is the inferior version, I feel like it's unfair to this game to come into it expecting the same polish and depth as the console version. For the time, I could see this being a pretty fun game to pick up for a quick tennis match when you're on a long trip or something. But that's the thing. This game can be pretty fun in short play sessions, but during longer play sessions, the game can get pretty stale. And I feel like that's why the story mode in this game doesn't work as well as you think it would. You see, an RPG requires you to invest multiple hours into playing and leveling up your character. An RPG needs a lasting appeal to be a worthwhile use of your time. And this game just doesn't have that lasting appeal. So, do I think they should make more Mario sports RPGs like this one? Actually, yeah. Yes, I do. While I feel like this specific game isn't worth your time, I still do see a lot of potential in a game like this. The leveling up system, having a world to explore, giving the players a goal to work towards, all of this could make for a very engaging tennis game if they were to just flesh out these mechanics a bit more. Mario Tennis Aces definitely seems like a step in the right direction, with the game finally bringing back a story mode to the series. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see Clay and Ace return someday to give us a true successor to these very ambitious Game Boy games. But how do you feel about Mario sports games including RPG elements? Do you think it's a good idea? Should they keep making games like this? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out and lets me know that you're enjoying this stuff. But yeah, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and if you're looking for something else to watch, why not check out my last video on the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. That one was pretty fun to make. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.